In our journey through life, respect is fundamental. It shapes our relationships, influences our well-being, and determines how we navigate our interactions with others. However, many people find themselves tolerating various forms of disrespect that can undermine their self-worth and happiness. Disrespect can manifest in many ways, but it often goes unnoticed or unaddressed because it can be subtle or disguised as humor or casual behavior. This is why it's essential to understand the different types of disrespect and how to stand up against them effectively. Today, we're going to discuss 5 types of disrespect you should never tolerate and how to recognize and address them. By understanding these forms of disrespect, you can empower yourself to set boundaries and cultivate healthier relationships. Remember, you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Let's dive into these 5 types of disrespect and explore how to stand up against them. Point 1. Verbal disrespect. Verbal disrespect can take many forms, including insults, belittling comments, sarcasm, and demeaning language. Verbal disrespect often leaves emotional scars that can linger long after the words are spoken. This type of disrespect can be particularly damaging because words have the power to hurt deeply, often leaving lasting emotional scars. Recognize the signs. Verbal disrespect often manifests in conversations where one person feels demeaned or belittled. Here are some common signs of verbal disrespect to watch for. Insults and name-calling. Direct insults can be straightforward and hurtful. Phrases like, "You're such a loser," or "You're not good enough," are clear indications of disrespect. Sarcastic remarks. While sarcasm can sometimes be playful, it can also be used as a weapon. If a comment is wrapped in sarcasm but has a sting of truth, it can be damaging. For example, saying, "Oh, great job on that presentation," when the presentation was poorly received, that is a form of backhanded compliment. Diminishing language. Using phrases that undermine someone's accomplishments or feelings can be hurtful. Comments like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal," can dismiss someone's genuine feelings. Constant criticism. A pattern of negative feedback, especially when it's not constructive, can create a toxic environment. If someone frequently critiques your choices, appearance, or abilities without offering support, it's a form of verbal disrespect. Take action. When faced with verbal disrespect, it's crucial to address it directly. Here's how you can effectively respond. Use I statements. When addressing verbal disrespect, frame your response using I statements to express how their words affect you without sounding accusatory. For example, "I feel hurt when you make those comments. I would appreciate more support." Stay calm and assertive. It's important to remain calm when addressing disrespect. Take a deep breath before responding and maintain a steady tone of voice. This will help you convey your message effectively without escalating the situation. Set clear boundaries. Let the person know what type of language is unacceptable. You might say, "I don't appreciate being talked to that way. If this continues, I'll need to distance myself from our conversations." Seek support. If the verbal disrespect continues, consider seeking support from others. This could involve talking to a friend, a colleague, or even a manager if it occurs in a professional setting. Sometimes, having someone else validate your experiences can provide the strength needed to confront the issue. Real-life scenarios. Imagine you're in a team meeting and a colleague consistently interrupts you to make sarcastic remarks about your ideas. You might respond by saying, "I feel like my contributions are not being valued when I'm interrupted. I'd appreciate it if we could have a respectful dialogue." In another scenario, a friend constantly makes jokes at your expense. You could say, "I enjoy our friendship, but I feel hurt when you make fun of me. I'd like our conversations to be more supportive." Point 2. Nonverbal disrespect. Nonverbal disrespect includes behaviors such as eye rolling, dismissive gestures, or failing to make eye contact when someone is speaking. These actions can communicate a lack of interest, contempt, or disregard for another person's feelings. Identify the behaviors. Nonverbal disrespect often goes unnoticed but can be just as harmful as verbal insults. Here are some behaviors to watch for. Eye rolling. This common gesture indicates annoyance or contempt. It can make the person speaking feel belittled or disregarded. Dismissive gestures. Actions like waving someone off or shrugging can convey that you don't care about what they're saying. Lack of eye contact. Failing to make eye contact while someone is speaking can signal disinterest or disrespect. It can make the speaker feel ignored or unimportant. Interrupting body language. Leaning away or turning your body away from someone while they're speaking can communicate disinterest and disrespect. Respond appropriately. If you notice nonverbal disrespect, calmly address it. Here are some strategies for responding. Point out the behavior. You could say, "I noticed you rolled your eyes when I was speaking. That makes me feel like my thoughts aren't valued. Can we focus on having a more respectful dialogue?" Model positive nonverbal communication. By demonstrating respectful nonverbal communication yourself, such as maintaining eye contact, nodding, and using open gestures, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. Create a supportive environment. In workplace settings, fostering an atmosphere where everyone is encouraged to engage and practice active listening can reduce instances of nonverbal disrespect. Initiate team-building activities that emphasize communication skills. Real-life scenarios. Consider a situation where you're sharing your thoughts in a meeting and a colleague rolls their eyes. You might say, "I noticed your reaction when I spoke. I'd like to create a space where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas without judgment." In a social setting, if a friend consistently checks their phone while you're talking, you could address it directly. "I feel like our conversations are one-sided when you're on your phone. I'd love to have your full attention when we chat." Point 3. Disrespecting boundaries. Disrespecting boundaries occurs when someone repeatedly violates your personal limits, whether emotional, physical, or mental. This can manifest as invading your personal space, making unsolicited comments about your life, or pushing you to share more than you're comfortable with. Recognize your boundaries. Understanding your boundaries is crucial. Here are some types of boundaries to consider. Physical boundaries. This refers to your personal space and physical touch preferences. Everyone has different comfort levels regarding physical proximity. Emotional boundaries. These boundaries protect your feelings and emotional well-being. It's important to communicate what topics are off-limits or how you prefer to handle emotional discussions. Time boundaries. Your time is valuable, and it's essential to set limits on how much time you're willing to invest in others. This includes knowing when to say no to requests that overextend you. Digital boundaries. In today's digital age, boundaries also apply to online interactions. Decide what information you're comfortable sharing on social media and how you want to engage with others online. Set clear boundaries. When someone disrespects your boundaries, it's essential to communicate them clearly. Here's how to establish and enforce your boundaries. Be specific. Clearly articulate what your boundaries are. For example, "I need some time alone after work to recharge, so I won't be available for calls during that time." Use assertive language. When discussing boundaries, use assertive language that conveys your needs confidently. Avoid vague language that can be misinterpreted. Educate others. Sometimes people may not realize their behavior is crossing a boundary. Take the time to explain why a certain behavior is unacceptable. For example, when you ask personal questions during meetings, It makes me uncomfortable. I prefer to keep my personal life separate from work. Real-life scenarios. Imagine a colleague who frequently interrupts your workday with personal requests, leaving you feeling overwhelmed. You might say, "I appreciate your need for assistance, but I need to focus on my tasks during work hours. Let's set a time to discuss your concerns later." In another instance, a friend keeps pushing you to attend social events when you're feeling drained. You could respond by saying, "I love spending time with you, but I need to prioritize my well-being. I'll have to pass on this gathering." Point 4. Disrespect through indifference. Indifference is a subtle but powerful form of disrespect. It can manifest as a lack of support or attention, where someone fails to acknowledge your achievements, feelings, or needs. This can be particularly hurtful in relationships where you expect care and understanding. Notice the signs. Reflect on your interactions. Here are some signs of indifference to watch for. Ignoring achievements. When you share accomplishments, the other person doesn't acknowledge them or changes the subject. Failure to inquire. In personal relationships, if someone consistently fails to ask about your day or your feelings, it can indicate a lack of interest. Dismissive responses. When you express concerns or needs, the other person brushes them off or responds with indifference. Address indifference. To combat indifference, express your feelings openly. Here are some strategies. Communicate your needs. Let the person know how their indifference affects you. For instance, you could say, "I feel unappreciated when my efforts go unnoticed. I'd love your support and acknowledgement." Create opportunities for connection. Sometimes indifference stems from a lack of connection. Initiate conversations about your life and ask about theirs to foster engagement. Encourage active listening. In conversations, encourage the other person to engage by asking questions and showing interest in what you're saying. For example, "I'd like to share something important to me. Can you give me your full attention?" Real-life scenarios. Imagine you've worked hard on a project at work and share it with your team, but they seem uninterested or fail to provide feedback. You might say, "I put a lot of effort into this project, and it would mean a lot to me to hear your thoughts on it." In a personal relationship, if a friend rarely checks in on you, you could say, "I value our friendship, but I feel disconnected when we don't talk about what's going on in our lives. Can we make an effort to check in more often?" Point 5. Disrespect in the form of gaslighting. Gaslighting is a manipulative tactic where someone tries to make you doubt your perceptions, memories, or feelings. This form of disrespect can be incredibly damaging, leading to confusion, anxiety, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Recognize gaslighting tactics. Be aware of phrases that indicate gaslighting, such as, "You're overreacting." This dismisses your emotional response and makes you question your feelings. "That never happened." This denies your reality and can lead you to doubt your memory. "You're too sensitive." This invalidates your feelings and suggests that your emotions are unwarranted. Stand firm in your truth. If you suspect gaslighting, it's crucial to trust your feelings and perceptions. Here's how to confront gaslighting behavior. Document your experiences. Keep a journal of incidents where you feel gaslit. Write down what happened, how you felt, and any relevant details. This can help you clarify your thoughts and provide evidence if needed. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it's essential to trust your instincts. Don't let others make you doubt your feelings or perceptions. Confront the behavior. When addressing gaslighting, be calm and assertive. You might say, "I remember this differently, and I'd like to discuss it. It's important to me that we acknowledge my perspective." Seek external validation. Talk to trusted friends or family members about your experiences. They can help affirm your perceptions and provide support when dealing with gaslighting behavior. Additionally, consider professional help if gaslighting is severely impacting your mental health. Conclusion. Disrespect can manifest in various forms, but it's essential to recognize and address it to maintain healthy relationships and a positive self-image. Here's a quick recap of the 5 types of disrespect you should not tolerate. Verbal disrespect. Address insulting or belittling language directly, using I statements and seeking support if needed. Non-verbal disrespect. Recognize dismissive gestures and respond appropriately while modeling positive non-verbal communication. Disrespecting boundaries. Set clear personal limits and be consistent in enforcing them to protect your well-being. Indifference. Express your need for acknowledgement and build a culture of recognition in your relationships. Gaslighting. Trust your feelings, document experiences, and seek validation from trusted individuals or professionals. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. By recognizing these forms of disrespect and taking action, you empower yourself to create a more positive and respectful environment in your relationships. If you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I create content aimed at helping you navigate your personal and professional life more effectively. Also, give this video a thumbs up to help others discover these important insights. Lastly, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these types of disrespect? How did you handle it? I would love to hear your stories and support your journey toward a more respectful life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.